Most people think inflammation is something you feel, a swollen knee, a sore back, a headache that won't quit, so they wait until they feel it to deal with it. That's the mistake. The most dangerous inflammation in your body right now is completely silent. You can't feel it. It's happening at a level far below any symptom inside your cells, inside your DNA, and if it goes unchecked long enough, it doesn't just make you feel older, it rewrites your genetic code. Here's what most people don't know. Chronic low-grade inflammation doesn't just damage tissue, it directly breaks DNA strands. It overwhelms the enzymes your body uses to repair those breaks, and it creates the exact environment where abnormal cells stop getting eliminated and start getting comfortable. But here's the part that should actually make you sit up, because this is the part that changes everything. One of the most powerful tools for stopping this process in your kitchen entire life. You've cooked with it. You've cooked it. Probably pushed it to the edge of your cutting board 100 times, and almost nobody is using it correctly. Before I show you the food, I need you to understand something that most doctors never explain, because once you see this connection, you will never think about inflammation the same way again. Your DNA gets damaged every single day. That's not a disease. That's just being alive. Every time a cell divides, every time you're exposed to pollution, UV light, even the byproducts of your own metabolism, your DNA takes hits. Under normal conditions, your body handles this brilliantly. You have repair enzymes, proteins like OGG1 and PAP1, whose entire job is to scan your genome, find damage, and fix it before anything goes wrong. Think of them like a 24-hour maintenance crew working the overnight shift. They're in there every night, patching holes, fixing breaks, keeping everything running. Now, here's where chronic inflammation enters the picture. And this is where it gets serious. When inflammation is chronically elevated, even at levels too low to cause symptoms, it floods your cells with something called reactive oxygen species. These are unstable molecules that tear through your DNA like sparks landing on dry paper. The damage accumulates faster than your repair crew can fix it. The maintenance crew is overwhelmed. They can't keep up. And over time, the errors they miss become mutations. And mutations left uncorrected long enough become the foundation of serious disease. This is not theory. This is the mechanism. Inflammation and DNA damage are not two separate problems. They are the same problem running in a loop. So the question isn't just how do I lower inflammation? The real question is, how do I lower inflammation and give my DNA repair enzymes the resources they need to do their job at the same time? That is exactly what the food I'm about to show you does. Hi, I'm Dr. Liana, emergency medicine physician and metabolism researcher. I spent years studying what separates the patients who age with resilience from those who don't. And one pattern that keeps appearing in the research, and one that genuinely surprised me, kept pointing back to something remarkably simple. Not a supplement, not a protocol that costs hundreds of dollars a month, a food, one specific food prepared in a specific way that measurably activates your body's inflammation control and DNA repair systems simultaneously. Let me show you exactly what it is, how it works, and the preparation mistake that makes most people get zero benefit from it. The food is garlic. And before you think you already know this, you don't. Not the way the research actually describes it, because the garlic most people use does almost nothing. The garlic used correctly is a completely different biological event. Garlic contains a family of organosulfur compounds. And when these compounds are activated correctly inside your body, they do something that has now been measured in controlled clinical trials. They directly suppress the molecular pathway that drives chronic inflammation and simultaneously switch on the genetic program your cells use to repair damaged DNA. This isn't folk medicine. This is measured at the cellular level in peer-reviewed trials using the same laboratory methods used to evaluate pharmaceutical drugs. If this kind of research-backed information is what you're looking for, hit subscribe. I put out new videos every week, and it would mean a lot to have you here. One more thing, and I only say this because people ask me constantly. If you want to support what your body is doing nutritionally, but aren't sure which products are actually worth your money, I've put together a list of the specific ones I personally use and trust in the description below. I went through the research before recommending any of them. The links are down there. Take a look when you're done watching and make your own call. How it actually works inside your body. Allicin and the nitrogen monofluoride kappa B shutdown. When you crush or chop a garlic clove, an enzyme called allinase is released. It immediately converts a compound called allin into allin. the active molecule responsible for garlic's sharp smell and most of its biological power. Allicin does something specific and measurable. It blocks NF-kappa B. Nitrogen monofluoride kappa B is the master switch for inflammatory gene expression in your body. When it's chronically activated, which it is in most adults over 40, it keeps your immune system running hot, produces a continuous stream of pro-inflammatory signals, and creates the exact internal environment where DNA damage accelerates and repair slows down. Allicin essentially walks up to that switch and turns it off, not permanently, but consistently, meal after meal, day after day. And that consistency is everything. S-alicitine and DNA repair enzyme activation. Garlic also contains a compound called salicine, SAC, particularly concentrated in aged garlic. SAC activates the NRF2 pathway. Think of NRF2 as the foreign of your DNA repair crew. When NRF2 is switched on, it signals the body to upregulate antioxidant defenses and increase production of the enzymes responsible for catching and correcting DNA strand breaks before they compound. This is the direct link between garlic consumption and DNA repair. It's not garlic making you feel better. It's garlic telling your genome to defend itself more aggressively. Diallose, sulfide, and the inflammatory cytosine drop. The third mechanism involves dial sulfide, another organosulfur compound in garlic, which directly reduces the output of IL-6 and TNF-alpha. These are the two most tracked inflammatory markers in clinical medicine. Chronically elevated IL-6 and TNF-alpha are associated with accelerated cellular aging, suppressed immune surveillance, and critically impaired DNA repair enzyme function. By reducing these two signals, garlic removes one of the main reasons your repair crew can't keep up. This isn't a single study. The evidence on garlic's anti-inflammatory and DNA protective mechanisms has been replicated across multiple institutions and populations. Researchers at the University of Ankara measured inflammatory markers in 50 adults with elevated CRP-C reactive protein, the standard clinical marker for systemic inflammation. After 12 weeks of daily raw garlic consumption, CRP levels dropped by an average of 31%. That's a reduction comparable to low-dose anti-inflammatory medication with no side effects and no prescription required. A separate study published by researchers at the National Cancer Institute examined the relationship between organosulfur compound intake and DNA strand break frequency using the COMET assay, which directly measures the integrity of individual DNA strands. Participants who consumed garlic regularly showed significantly fewer breaks per cell compared to controls. The difference was visible after just 4 weeks. Penn State researchers studying aged garlic extract specifically measured SACE concentration and its effect on NRF2 activation in human subjects. They found that consistent SACE intake equivalent to 2 to 3 cloves of fresh garlic daily produced measurable upregulation of OGG1, one of the primary DNA repair enzymes, within 6 weeks. How to actually eat it? Here's what the research supports specifically. 2 to 3 raw garlic cloves per day. This is the dose range used in the majority of clinical trials showing measurable anti-inflammatory effect. 1 clove is not enough. 4 or more doesn't add significant additional benefit and may cause digestive discomfort. Crush or chop. Never use it whole. Allicin only forms when the cells of the garlic are physically broken. A whole clove passing through your digestive tract produces virtually no allicin. A crushed clove creates it immediately. The 10-minute rule. After you crush or chop the garlic, wait 10 minutes before cooking it or eating it. This is the single most important preparation step almost no one knows. Allicin needs approximately 10 minutes to fully form after the enzyme reaction begins. If you drop crushed garlic straight into a hot pan, you're destroying allicin before it's had a chance to develop. Let it sit on your cutting board. Those 10 minutes determine whether you're eating medicine or just flavoring. Best time with lunch or your largest meal. Fat-soluble compounds in garlic are better absorbed in the presence of dietary fat. Adding crushed garlic to food containing olive oil, avocado, or any healthy fat improves bioavailability of the organosulfur compound significantly. If raw garlic isn't tolerable for you, aged garlic extract, specifically products standardized to SACE content, is the only supplement form shown in studies to preserve the DNA repair activating compounds. Standard garlic powder does not work the same way. Here are some preparation mistake that eliminates most of the benefit. The most common mistake is putting garlic directly into hot oil the moment it's chopped. This is how nearly every recipe instructs you to cook. And from a flavoring perspective, it works fine. From a biological perspective, you've just destroyed the primary active compound before it could form. Remember, allicin needs 10 minutes after crushing to develop. High heat denatures allinase almost instantly. If that enzyme is deactivated before allicin forms, the reaction never happens. You get flavor. You get no medicine. Crush it, wait 10 minutes, then cook it, or better yet, add it raw at the end of cooking where the heat exposure is minimal. This single change, the 10-minute window, is the difference between garlic as a condiment and garlic as a genuine therapeutic food. Inflammation doesn't announce itself. It runs quietly, steadily at a cellular level, damaging DNA, overwhelming repair systems, and slowly tipping the biological odds in the wrong direction. And most people spend years managing symptoms while the underlying process continues unchecked. But your body has not given up. It has dedicated systems, enzymes, pathways, surveillance mechanisms that are still working, still repairing, still defending. They don't need a pharmaceutical trigger. They need the right nutritional signal, 2 crushed cloves, 10 minutes every day. That's it. That's the practice. Remarkably simple for what it does at a cellular level. If this video helped you understand something about your health that you didn't before, share it with one person who needs to hear it. That's all I ask. And if you're ready to take this further, the products I personally vetted and recommend are linked in the description. I don't put anything down there I haven't looked at closely myself. If aged garlic extract is something you want to add or anything else that supports what we talked about today, start there. It'll save you time and it'll save you from wasting money on things that don't hold up to scrutiny. For deeper reading, I've covered the specific foods that activate your body's stem cell repair systems and the one dietary pattern that measurably reverses visceral fat accumulation in adults over 50. Both are on this channel. Doctor for William Lai. See you in the next